Peace, peace, you guys. What the hell is going on? Oh, yeah, we just had a little bit of something going on outside. Hey, this is Rick. I'm ready to go back into teaching. Okay, I've been uh, I've been lost in this one book. The next one's is Ecclesiastics. Okay, it's a very interesting book, that Ecclesiastics. It's telling us about, this vow that we had made with God, and that we have to, pretty much do what we said we were going to do. And it is a book that does not say that. It talks about us being more in captive than it talks about anything else. All right, it's not one of those positive type of sayings or books. It is about us not being connected to God, okay, and that this is God's will to do this to us. So this book is really interesting in that it answers all of our questions that we possibly could have. But we're talking right off the bat is this is coming from the mouth. This is the words of a preacher. This is words, and a word is outside. And so they're telling us about our transgressions, or that this is what vanity and vexation of the spirit. Vanity is that you're being taken on some kind of a trip. This is the folly. That's what this is all about. This business of the folly, and the vexation of the spirit is what pisses it off. This is like you're doing harm against God. Is what this is saying. But God put you on this trip in the first place. The preacher went to some great extent to find out just what is happening underneath the sun, because there's nothing happening under the sun. No thing is new under the sun. Now, I want to bring your attention to that word thing, because that's what's saying here. It's talking about you. It's talking about that thing. There is no thing new under the sun. Okay, this is here. It's just the cool shit on it, you guys. I'm going to minus you down and bring up this here. We're going to read this in the first two worlds. That's the first 8 and then 9, and then call out some important things. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Again, we've got the 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 is the mind, the intellect of the man, what's going on. Then, or about man or father or whatever. Second is this idea of, the second has to do with our heart. It's our emotion. It's the northern side of us. This is where we would usually find the eagle for flying, to go from low to high, to be this messenger. This is where we would find our fruit. This is where we would find our food. This is where we would find our nourishments and stuff like that. And then we got our body part, which is called bread in a lot of cases, and this is the body, the brethren, the 5. This would be the third kingdom, all right, or the third spot in here. And then 4 is going to be like the spiritual side of all this business. What's going on in this side? Is it good guys or bad guys that are going on in this situation? So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then it repeats itself again with the new world. Okay? This is how we're learning to read these things from now on. So the words of the preacher, the son of the king of Jerusalem. This is vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What profit a man of his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. All right, now this is one of those things that says, la 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 la, but the word does not pass away. This earth business is going to represent this, the spiritual side of us. The word doesn't pass away. You're going to keep coming back and coming back until you get it together. All right. The sun also rises and the sun goes down and hastens to his place where he rose. And number six would be representing the Kundalini, but it says, the wind goeth towards the south and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth around continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. That's number 6. 6 is about that Kundalini, but this is an outside look at things. This is an outside view of stuff. This is coming from his mouth. This is coming from outside. 7 is usually, this is the rivers all run to the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place wherein the rivers comes, thither they return again. So this is 7, says all the rivers run to the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto this place where the rivers comes. This is idea that there's no one coming to the river. So people have to come from land, like the river has to come from the land and go to the sea, out into the sea, in order to have this happen. But this ain't happening. There's no connection here. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. This is number 8. This is the end of another world. So this is our spiritual side that's dead. Our spiritual side can't see things, can't hear things. And here's number 9. The thing that hath been is that which shall be. That and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. This is number 9. Now, I put mine here. There is no new thing under the sun. If you've not been listening, that we have to come back again and again and again. And do you know that later on in these works, we're going to find out again that more people come here to serve Satan than ever get plucked out of this mess, ever. So still, there's only few souls that ever make it through this area, all right? It says, he says here, and I gave my heart to seek and to search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. Under heaven. That means earth. So he's seeing things that are done from an earthly standpoint, from the outside, from the skin. And he's like, oh my God. He says, it says here, this sore travail hath God given to the sons of men to be exercised therefore. This is number 13. Let's bring it down here to 13. It says, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised thereof. Now, this is, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Okay, so this is what it's going to derive to every time that we get going on with this here, is that when we go from the outside of us, this is like some kind of a vanity where we are just really only entertaining ourselves and we're not getting anything done. All we are thinking is that we got it going on, we got this business going on, and we don't need anything else. We have God with us already and all that. That's what it means. That's vanity. And all things are vanity. That's how we're starting off this story. And that's Ecclesiastics 1. Okay? Now, that 1 is the first world. I'm doing those in 4. So the first world, that was about what's going on. Second is about the works, their labors. It's going to talk about this more northern part of us. This is what's going to happen in the second chapter. Second chapter is going to talk about the second thing. The second part of us is our emotional things, the actual works, things like that. And again, what it is we're going to sit here. We're going to read the first four, and those are the worlds, and then we're going to go and we're going to do the second set of worlds. All right. See if you can get an idea of just where is our mind? Where's the story telling us our mind is at? All right, this is the second one now. It says, I said in mine heart, go to now. I will prove thee with mirth. Mirth winds up being entertaining. Here, let me find this out again, make sure. M-I-R-T-H. M-I-R-T-H. Definition. It's for your own amusement. Okay, so that should tell you a lot right there. Damn, where are we at? Ecclesiastics 2. All right. So I said in mine heart, go to now. I will prove thee with mirth. So he's going to amuse. Therefore, enjoy pleasure. And behold, this is also vanity. All right, so it's actually talking. This is the heart side. It's about our emotions. And so he said, go ahead, Lord, enjoy yourself. Believe this. Believe what it is. This is vanity. All right. And I said of laughter, which is number 2 in here. This is the second one. And I said of laughter, it is mad. And mirth, what do for it? So mirth says, what does it do for you? What does mirth do for you? What does this entertainment? You're going to get nothing. I sought in mine heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, that I might see that it was what was good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heavens all the days of their life. So we are committed to this constant travailing against God all the days of our lives. Under the sun, this is our outside of us has been made to do this. Now, all right, let's keep going. So I sought in mine heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting mine heart with wisdom, I lay hold on folly, till I might see what was good for the sons of men. So this is the idea that I went and set myself on folly. This is on the snare, on the word of God, basically. All right, the outside interpretation. I set myself to folly so that I might find out what's going to happen to the sons of men. And they find out that I made me great works. I built me houses. Listen to how it says this. I made me great works. I built me houses. I planted me vineyards. This is 4. Another set. I made me gardens and orchards. I planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. In the 6th one, I made me pools of water, to water therein with wood that bringeth forth trees. This is 6. This is all an outside approach. I've got trees, and they're going to bear all kinds of fruits. Look, 7, instead of the day of the Lord, I've got me servants and maidens, and I bore my own house. I also have great possessions, about small and large cattle. And then 8, the last one says, I've gathered me also silver and gold. I got all kinds of treasures from the provinces. I got men singers and women singers and delights of sun and men and music. And you know all of that? All of that is vanity. Every one of those things, because that's an outside approach to an inside thing, where you don't need any of those things. You don't need none of those, but that's what you have. So this is about being spoiled. All right, this is the vanity of it all. So what do we get? Let's get down to the 9th. It says, so I was great, and I increased more than anyone in Jerusalem. Also, my wisdom remained with me. All right. This is because, this is the black side wisdom. I would tell you that, the 9. So I was great. And all these me's and me's and me's, this should show it's about you anyhow. All right, so this was about whatever my eyes desired, I did not keep anything from them. All right, here we were at here. For the wise men, here we go on. Let's go on to 14 real quick. We got, then I saw the wisdom excelleth to folly, as far as light excelleth in darkness. So this wisdom that you were working with at this time actually brings more life to the folly. And it was like, I hear this all the time, about, hey, this is all real. This is real. I said, don't tell me more about this garbage. I don't want to hear any of that. Oh, but, because they're using their mind. Their mind saying, hey, this is what it is. It's wisdom, but you got to have understanding, This is what they're talking about. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. And I myself perceived also that one event happened to them all. So here's number 14. The guy saying, and I perceived that this one event happened to everyone. All right? If you can't remember that this is that idea of the Passover, that when that Passover came, those people that were marked were able to maintain having their firstborn. But everybody else on earth lost their firstborn son. And that means they're no longer able to communicate with the God. So it's just this idea that the firstborn is your brother. So here we are. It said to my heart, it has happened to the fool, so it happened even to me. And while I was with wise, then I said to my heart, this is also vanity. All right? You have brought yourself down to this lower place. And not only that you're watching this, what has happened? Everyone is brought down. So it's not even the wise also. Just a moment. Then I said in my heart, as it happeneth to the fool would be those guys that just don't know better. This is 15, which represents 6. I said in my heart, 6 is the Kundalini part. I said in my heart, it happened to the fool. It happened even to me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart that this also is vanity. So this is this idea you think you know it all. All right? I'll tell you that. I get that a lot. Where there's no remembrance of the wise, no more the fool forever. La, 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 la. All right. All of this is talking about more vanity, more vexation of the spirit, because you are making this whole thing up. You're bringing hell to life. Let's see, we have number 1 down here, number 26. I'm supposed to read. For God giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge, joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail, to gather and heap up, and to keep it to himself is good before God. This also is vanity and vexation of the spirit. Here we go. There's nothing better for a man than he should eat and drink. For who can eat and drink can be chastened unto thee before I. So this business here is that you have your own food, you have your own trees, you have all of your own business. This is not an inside situation. You're not hooking up with God. All right. This is the works and the labor, and that you are also looking that you're not the one that gets anything out of this. That whatever you make and whatever you cook or whatever is going to be taken away and given to somebody else. All right. Let's go on to Ecclesiastes 3. 3 is going to represent the third kingdom. Third kingdom is representing our body. Our body is the vessel. It's the sacrifice. It's also would probably be, well, let's just read on and see what happens. We get this pretty little singing song business that to everything, there's that thing again, to everything, there is a season. A time to every purpose under the heaven. All right. I know you think this is a pretty little song, but the way it is separated up here will help you to understand it much better. All right. Again, we have to look at this as being separated into fours, and we're going to do this forever and ever and from now on. But the first 4 worlds are going to open up to the next 4 worlds, and then we got a little bit of 8 reading to do. Okay. To everything, there is a season. To each one of us, there is a season. We have to be planted, and then we have to be grown, and then we had to be plucked out and stuff like that. But this is us looking at us as the everything, and you are the thing. Remember, we've talked about this. This is very interesting that we even learned what the thing is, and now it's showing up everywhere. All right? To everything. All right? This is a separated word. All right. There is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Now, under number 2, we get a time to be born. This is the idea of this. This is, remember, second is about a month. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. That's what happens in the second part. All right. A time to kill. This is our body, our sacrifice. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. This is when you gain. This is this idea that you're going to become a greater nation. You know, with the third and the fourth. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn. Time to dance. This is when you make it to the other side. This is a good thing. Then we got the next 4. A time to cast away stones. A time to gather stones together. A time to embrace. And a time to refrain from embracing. 5 is your brothers. This is gather them all together. This is bringing them all. Let's bring it together. And number 6, a time to get. A time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away. 6, again, this is that idea. We have to cast over to the right side of the brain, cast our nets, all right? And this is also the part where you are leaving the land. When you lose your the land, your body, you have to cast away and go out into the water. And then number 7, a time to rend, which is to get out of your skin. A time to sow, which is to go up the ladder. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. This is judgment. This body going up and getting itself judged by God. This is what you're supposed to do, all right? This is in the 3rd, all right? This is 3 means intervention, all right? This is what you're supposed to do, all right? And on 8, we have a time to love, time to hate, time for war, and a time for peace. 8 is a control number. And when we're with God, it's love. And when we're not with God, it's hate. It's war whenever we want to when we want to go against this problem of ours to be corrected. And after that, then we get peace. It says, what profits he who worketh in wherein he laboreth? This is the idea that someone else is going to profit from your labor. All right. And this is part of the travail which God hath giveth the sons of men to be exercised in it. This is not over by any part. Just because this is written and you think that this is all about the Jews, it's all about all of us on earth, everybody on earth. All right. He's made it so everybody's happy. You'll be eating, drinking, you'll be good for all of this, you'll be happy. It's the gift of God. And this is to where we would, I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God doeth, and men should fear before him. And moreover, I saw, this is number 16. Now, 16 is 7, that's the Lord's day. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. That wickedness was there. Okay, this wickedness is on the left side. All right. And the place of righteousness, there's iniquity there. And I said to my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is a time for every purpose and every work. This is tying back to the beginning of the song or this business. And in my heart concerning the estate of sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. This is number 18. Number 18 represents a 9. And the beast is the number 666. And of course, 666 represents the lower mind. All right. And here we have it here as a number 9 consciousness under 18. Scripture 18. Therefore, what befalls us the sons of men befalls us the beast. And of course, it asks this wonderful question here on 21, which would be the intervention. Who knoweth that the spirit of man goeth up, but the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? All right, that was the question. All right, so this was number 3. We're going to go into 4. Now, this is just telling you that, you know, if you had it going on, if you were doing a good thing, the spirit inside of you, it's going to go upward. It's going to go upward, but the spirit of the beast goes downward. So when you die and you give it all up, you don't, and you're all alone. This is going to happen in the number 4 in the next one. All right, we'll get a quick little synopsis of what's going on. Are we going anywhere? All right, so that was talking about the body itself and how it has to go from a one point first and then then something second. We have to go through the first. We have to go through something first, and that is this travail that God has sent us on. That we had to do this, and this is actually talking about the Bible itself. That's the snare that catches us and makes us do this trespassing. All right. Now, going on to the fourth is going to be about worlds again, and if we're going to do the worlds, the way it happens is this fourth spot's going to be about the spiritual side of things. Okay, this is, you know, because it's the 4th one in here. 4th actually means worlds. We're going to run through the whole thing. There's only 16. All right, so that's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 4, so it's going to tell us something about it. This is Ecclesiastics 4. All right. So I turned and considered the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears as were oppressed. They had no comforter. And on the side of the oppressors, there was power, but there was no comforter. All right, so that's representing first one. The first thing is telling us. In our mind, he says, there's strength in there. That this is our lower mind. This is under the sun. Remember, it's sun, moon is our middle, stars is the lower, and then heaven is usually the spiritual side. But when you got that, it goes like this. It goes, So I returned and considered the oppressions that are done under the sun. So this is the first one, done under the sun. Remember, sun, moon, stars, and heaven, or, spiritual side. Excuse me. Something's trying to take a hold of me. Wherefore so there's no comforter, all right? There's no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. This is pretty telling. Number two, telling you all these people are dead already, okay? Yea, better that he be both they which hath not yet been, who hath not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. It's yea, better is he than both they which hath not yet been. All right. It's better that you do this all alone than with the both of you. Because both comes later on. You're all alone first. You are without this brother. Okay, now listen how this goes. When you are put down here on this earth, you don't have this inside part. You don't have access to it. Okay, that's the thing. It is locked up tight, and it's doing whatever you tell it to do. It's on a trip. All right, it's in swaddling clothes. It can't move. All right. God is trying to, in Jesus, he's trying to pull that part of us out of its grave, out of the inside of us. Okay. Yea, better is he than they both. Well, all right. So that you don't get to see the evil work that's done under the sun. That's this one. Fourth, the last one on here. Again, I considered the travail in every right work. And that for this a man is envied by his neighbor. This is vanity and vexation of the spirit. Again, we're saying like, oh my God, oh, this guy's got everything. Oh man. And at the same time, he's envied of his neighbor. His neighbor is like, oh yeah, well, I wish I had what he had. This again is creating vanity and vexation because this is really pissing off the spirit. So you're still getting worse and worse. Nobody's getting out of it yet. Now we'll start with a new world. The fool foldeth his hands together and eateth his own flesh. This is 5. 5 is talking about the body. And what are they doing? They're putting their hands together and they're talking and they're praying out loud and they're not getting anywhere. So they're only eating their own flesh. That's what they're talking. That's what that means. Okay? Better as a handful with quietness. All right, better is a handful with quietness than both the hands full with travail and exhortation and vexation of spirit. This is number 6. All right. Instead of taking this route to go and get your answers to God, instead of taking the inside route, number 6, you put your hands together with and which are full of this travail. So you do it again wrong. It's like, oh, and that pisses off the spirit. Damn, this dude is stupid. That's what's happening. It says it's better with a handful of quietness. Remember, you're supposed to be quiet. You're supposed to turn the thoughts off, because God's thoughts are greater than ours and better. It's better to just be quiet. Just shut the hell up. All right. All right. So then I returned and saw vanity under the sun. That's under the sun. Vanity was under the sun. Now the 8th final one on here in this. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother. Yet is there no end of his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with riches. Neither saith he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity. Yea, It is a sore travail. So here we are with 8 saying that you're all alone. There is no second. You have no child. You have no brother. You are all alone. And you are satisfied. And you are happy. You've got riches beyond. And you don't even care who you're laboring for. And you don't even ask who's going to bereave my soul. Who's going to clean this business up. This is vanity. Yea, and sore travail. All right, that's number 8. Let's keep on going. We got another one to go through. Okay, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. That's 9. 9 is a good conscious number. If you can get 2 together, that's perfect. That's bringing mom and dad together because they have good reward on their labor. All right, and for if they fall. And this is, in this situation, if you have the 2, for if they fall, the one will lift the other fellow, or lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone, within he faileth, for he had not another to help him up. Again, if 2 lie together, they have heat. But how can one be warm all alone? It's number 11. The end of this one here. And if one prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. This is the end of this world, and this is 12. This is 12. 12 is a 3. This is the 3 joining together. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. Let's go on to the next set. The final set, number 13. Better is a poor and wise child, which is how we started out at work. Poor and poor, and a wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished. This is number 13. It means this guy cannot be fixed. He's too old in his ways. Just cannot be fixed. All right. The next one is 14. For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also that he is born in his kingdom becometh poor. So this is again, the beginning part is that you are born into your kingdom poor, but you are brought out of prison and turned into a king. All right. I considered all the living which walk under the sun. This is number 15, representing 6. Okay. I considered all the living. All right, this is this one, number 15. 15 represents 6, again, about our ways and our walks and whatever. It says, I considered all the living which walk under the sun, with the second child that shall stand up in his stead. All right. It says, I considered all the living people that are walking around under the sun, with the second child that shall stand up in his stead. He sees all of this. All of us have this. And number 16, the final one, there is no end of all the people. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. That means your other lifetimes. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So we end up on 16, which represents a 7. All right. There is no end for the people. They'll never have that day of the Lord. All right. There's a good number of people out there that will not get this. And that's what they're saying. But if you read the Bible on the outside, oh, God's going to take all of us up there, or he's going to have one up and one's going to be left behind. But that's vanity and vexation of spirit. You guys, that was a long one. It truly was. All right, can I bring you back? That was a long one, and it's meant to be. I'm going to be doing this like this for a while, but I think that you should be getting a picture that Ecclesiastics is telling us about our trespasses and how it is that what we are doing on the outside actually is pissing off God, the Spirit, that that this is the trespass. But we are meant to go and to enlarge this border, get as much shit in you as possible. All right. Because this is probably the only way that we get rid of it is by but I'm not so sure. These Bibles, this keeps telling us that there's more people out there that are in hell, and in this world out here of this that never ever make it over to this other side. That's the stories that we're getting. That there are more dead people running around out there than there are anything else. He says, I'm praying I'm praying for dead people, these dead people that are walking around. Did you catch that in these stories? Did you just back it up a little bit, and you'll find that that's exactly what it says. There are more dead people in this world than can ever be born out. And this time of plucking out, and this time of business and all that, what a beautiful little story showing us that we are the seed and that it's our seasons, in seasons when we are ready to be plucked out. This was this idea of even bringing God as the business of Judah giving up Jesus, all right, and Judah, is representing the eagle or the backbiting Scorpio, because that's the time of the year that we are being harvested. That's the time of the year that we're being harvested. And we start off in Libra with a virgin mind to get all of this started, to get everything moving. And so next time we're coming into Libra to get a balance going on to the right and left sides of our brain. We no longer are one-minded. We want both sides working together at one thing. So we lose the lower mind and the higher mind. So we're bearing our cross. All right. Next, and we're doing it on ourselves. All right. We're bearing our own crosses. And next thing you know, we get this backbiting situation. This is, it's time for the harvest. We have to go and kill ourselves. So this backbite is a situation that brings us down, slowly quieting the mind until you die around midnight, which is between Scorpio and Capricorn, right down there in the manger, and you're actually reborn then as a child. This is the one side is the body being crucified, all right, and now what's loosened in you is the child. It's brought out of you, and some 30 years later does he pop back into existence to go and be baptized by John in Aquarius, and then sent on to Pisces, where he fishes out his men, and the brethren come to life. And next thing you know, you're the Lamb of God in Aries, who takes away the sins of the world. This is all an inside operation, you guys, not an outside operation. Next thing you know, you're in Taurus, where you sacrifice the bull. You take one of those. You take one of those things about you, one of the witnesses, and this is the bull. Sacrifices towards the Lord. There's your burnt offering going on. The next, you're going into the brethren. We're gathering everyone together. This is the sixth chakra part in our painting, or in our world. Where in Gemini, we are gathering the men together, we're gathering everyone together. This is the fifth chakra, basically. That's the body part. Fifth, you're bringing them all together. And six is this idea that, we got to contemplate something going on. This is Cancer. My fall. We're going to have to, this is the Cancer is just left and right. It can only go left and right at this particular point, all right? Next spot is the Holy Spirit. This is where you would wind up with Leo. The end. The lion shows up in your mind. Remember, it's the lion. We learned this in one of our books back there a couple of books ago. That the lion is the last one to control you, and you are the lion for going about this route all by yourself. And only then can you ever pull yourself out of this hell, which appears to be more people in hell than there are on the free side. All right. So it's just a very interesting bunch of readings that we've been going on through, but this is the whole idea of going all the way around the world. And that area is called the shadow of death. All right. This is something that happens within inside of us. When we cast off from the land, when we put ourselves to sleep, put the men away. The lower mind is the land. Remember that. In the skin, they gathered it all together to make the dry land, right? That's fine. You guys, I absolutely enjoy reading our Bible. I love teaching it to you. Take on some of these ideas that I have here to learn how to read your Bible correctly. It's not so hard, you know. We are supposed to study our Bibles, not just read them. All right. I love you guys, and I'll be back with more. All right. And hopefully I'll have some of that painting done behind me.